Did you know if something's not getting better, by default, it's getting worse? If something's not getting stronger, by default, it's getting weaker. If something doesn't have momentum, by default, it's losing momentum. Let's take a look at this.
I'm just trying to find a solution. I'm just trying to find a solution. Note to self.
Yeah, I've got these new Ray-Ban Meta displays I'm kind of checking out. It's not a promo or an ad for them, but they have this feature where right now I can see the teleprompter, so it kind of reminds me of what I want to talk about. So yeah, by default, if you're not doing something, by default, anything is getting worse. This is the first YouTube video I've tried to do in a while, and I'm kind of just going to spitball it, of course, with using a couple of ideas I've had. You know, I did a few YouTube videos. I was very motivated. COVID happened, kind of hit the brakes. But by default, these videos, you know, any skill I had developed, I've lost that over the last few years. And now it's time to rebuild that muscle. You know, it's the same thing with any area of my life. You know, I always say this is note to self, you know, but really I'm thinking about main areas in my life that I can improve that by default have gotten worse. I played a lot of music during the pandemic with the band, and I got better, you know, and I got kind of bored with what we were doing, but, you know, I wanted to start doing some music again. So I just have to pick up the guitar and start playing, and hopefully I just keep getting better there. That's one area of my life I want to get better so it doesn't just naturally get worse. Of course, the family, I want to have a strong marriage and be a great father to my son. But if I do nothing about those things, then by default, they'll be worse. So, you know, I think the first thing I'm going to do is pick 4 or 5 areas that I really want to work on and just see if I can make them stronger. You know, I've been writing a couple of books, and of course, after a while you get bored and I'm not doing those books anymore. But I'm really going to dive back into the writing, the playing music, and then weight loss is another huge one. Is I'm going to put an effort there because by default I gained weight back. You know, that's embarrassing to myself. You know, it's just one thing I have to deal with, and I'm going to really work on that. And I think, you know, there can be a time where you set like a goal, but I think as long as the desire is there, you know, like they say in Think and Grow Rich, the desire has to be set basically so you know exactly where your trajectory is. There's a lot more to that, but if you have a burning desire, really nothing can stop you. So I'm going to lose weight back to where I want to be again. This time, hopefully keep it off, you know, and I think if you have the desire for it, that's a lot easier. And again, if you don't stop taking care of yourself health-wise, then by default, you won't get, you know, overweight or let stuff build back up. But the other area, of course, the writing, the family, just making sure I'm taking care of all those different areas. And I think it just starts with a decision. You know, if you make that decision, you know, the only one you're lying to is yourself. And I don't know if I'm going to be good about these YouTube things. I just want to post one and see where it goes from there. I've spent lots of time thinking in the back of my mind, okay, just post again, and months and actually years have gone by since I've done another note to self video like this. But I've, you know, gonna lose weight. I'm gonna lose 40 to 50 pounds. I've already lost 10 of it, and I know I'm on the right track there. Basically what I'm doing there is I'm just gonna work out every single day. I don't care if that's not the right way. I'm gonna eat better. I'm kind of tracking calories too, so I have the desire and I have the plan there, and I've already set that in motion for about a month. And maybe that's kind of propelled the motivation to get back into doing this. And the nice part is, you know, I picked up the guitar a few times and I'm redeveloping those calluses, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I write a few more songs, and hopefully I finish that book. And I don't realize I say hopefully, but I have a desire to finish that book. I have goals and plans, and we'll see where that goes. So basically, if it's not getting better, it's getting worse. And Myron Golden, he's a YouTube kind of influencer, business guy. He really he sums it up and says it a lot better. So if you kind of search his podcasts or vlogs here on YouTube, he'll get you addicted immediately. But that's note to self for today, and let's get out of our own way and get that momentum going. We'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.